One-hit wonders from 1972.
To a garden party, reminisce with my old friend.
Remember when this song basically summed up the whole 70s vibe? Or when this one had every single person on the dance floor losing their mind? 1972. The radio felt like a perfect snapshot of being young, full of freedom, confusion, and pure groove. Some tracks blew up huge, then vanished like smoke, but that one echo still makes us grin ear to ear today. So let's crank the volume and relive the flash in the pan one-hit wonders that somehow defined an entire era. 15. Brandy, You're a Fine Girl by Looking Glass. She works. This is one of the best little stories 1972 ever gave us. A harbor town barmaid who falls hard for a sailor who can't stay put. In 3 minutes, Looking Glass did what most novels can't do in 300 pages. Built a whole character, a heartbreaking love story, and a feeling that never fades. It sounded like a sea shanty turned into a radio hit. The arrangement sparkled, Elliot Lurie's voice felt real as hell, and the melody wrapped around you like salty air. Every bar, every station, somebody heard Brandy and saw themselves in it. Impossible love, endless waiting, promises that never quite come true. Crazy part? They cut it super raw, almost no production tricks, and that's exactly why it still feels so human. One massive hit was all they needed to live forever. Play it today and you can almost smell the ocean, old wood, and sea spray curtains. Some stories don't need a happy ending to be perfect. Before we keep rolling, drop your name and how old you are in the comments. Let's see who's riding this nostalgia train with us. 14. Dancing in the Moonlight by King Harvest. Certain songs just make the world feel a little kinder, and Dancing in the Moonlight is absolutely one of them. King Harvest, just a bunch of buddies who'd been hustling across Europe, recorded it with zero expectations, never guessing it'd become one of the year's most loved tunes. That easygoing rhythm, those smooth harmonies, and the straight-up invitation to dance under the stars lit up radios everywhere. The backstory's wild. Sherman Kelly wrote it after surviving a brutal beating. Instead of anger, he dreamed up a world where people just dance happy under the moonlight. That quiet strength turned it into a low-key anthem of hope. Every generation rediscovers it and feels the exact same thing. Instant smile, instant chill. Smash that like if you think 70s music still smokes anything out today. 13. Sunshine by Jonathan Edwards.
Please don't take my sunshine away.
Sometimes pure frustration births the sweetest songs, and Jonathan Edwards found that out by accident. He accidentally erased a track in the studio, had to improvise something new on the spot, and boom, Sunshine. A big screw you to liars and manipulators wrapped in the happiest melody you ever heard. The contrast was genius. Smiling vocals over lyrics screaming independence.
I'm gonna make it mine. These ain't news, I've been there.
In 1972, when kids were carving their own path, that vibe became an accidental anthem. Edwards never got close to another hit this big, didn't need to. Sunshine parked itself in the collective memory as the ultimate honesty tune. Proof that beautiful things can come from total screw-ups. 12. Layla by Derek and the Dominoes. Technically born in 70, but the unplugged version exploded in 72 and finally gave it the love it deserved. Eric Clapton wrote it drowning in forbidden love for his best friend George Harrison's wife. Pure torment turned into 7 minutes of absolute fire. Guitars crying like broken hearts, then that peaceful piano outro like finally letting go. Back then, listeners felt the pain, even if they didn't know the story. Some blasted it after breakups, some dreamed of epic romance. It grew with Clapton over the years, but this was the peak for the Dominoes, one lightning bolt that never fades. 11. Hold Your Head Up by Argent. Keep your head up, simple words, massive power in the early 70s. Rod Argent, fresh off the Zombies, started a new band with a new mission, straight up hope. In a decade full of uncertainty, it felt like Big Brother advice you didn't know you needed. That steady beat and repeating chorus worked like hypnosis, stadiums full of fists in the air singing it back. Never meant to be political, but it became a personal battle cry for a ton of people. Funny that their only monster hit is literally just telling you not to quit. Perfect for a time when everything felt like it was spinning out of control. 10. Precious and Few by Climax.
Precious and few are the moments we took.
This one felt like it floated out of a dream. Part waltz, part prayer, all wrapped in Sonny Geraci's killer voice. Soft intro into a chorus people still hum 50 years later. One spin and every high school gym slow dance had its soundtrack. Climax was just a regular band, no flash, and suddenly they were everywhere for a few months. Then poof. That quick rise and fall actually makes it hit harder, like those summer romances you know won't last, but you treasure forever. Every time it pops up on a classic rock station, you still get that lump in your throat. What's your favorite track from '72? Drop it below. 9. Nice to Be With You by Gallery. While hard rock was exploding, this soft little gem from a bunch of Michigan dudes slipped in like a warm hug. No grand statement, just reminding you that having somebody beside you is already enough. Dinner tables, Sunday drives, it was the soundtrack of everyday love. Gallery disappeared fast, but the song keeps showing up in movies and memories. Sometimes the simplest ones age the best. 8. Smoke on the Water by Deep Purple. That opening riff became the first thing millions of kids ever learned on guitar. Nobody knew that simple, monstrous lick would turn into a secret handshake across generations. They wrote it after a casino burned down during a festival in Switzerland, watched the smoke drift over Lake Geneva from their hotel window, and turn disaster into legend. Raw, loud, no frills, exactly what a generation cranking everything to 11 needed. 7. Baby Let Me Take You in My Arms by the Detroit Emeralds.
Let me take you in my arms.
Everything out of Detroit sounded smooth as hell, cars roaring off the line, radios pumping soul. The Detroit Emeralds stepped up with this slow burner and owned the late night airwaves for a minute. Shy guitar, heartbeat bass, velvet vocals, straight up romance with zero tricks. One perfect slow dance postcard from an era when a good record could still change your whole night. 6. Troglodyte Caveman by the Jimmy Castor Bunch. From classy soul to straight-up funky comedy, Jimmy Castor turned a caveman story into a party jam full of grunts and laughs. Nobody knew what the hell it was, but everybody loved it. In a heavy year, it was pure silly relief. He recorded it half as a joke, ended up his biggest hit ever, and the one he could never top.
Right on. Right on.
Under the goofy surface, it actually says something real. Deep down, we're all still cavemen when we love, dance, or laugh. 5. Pop That Thang by the Isley Brothers. Nobody had groove in their DNA like the Isley Brothers. Already legends by 72, they dropped this and sounded fresher than the new kids. Fat bass, stinging guitars, call and response hooks, literally begging you to shake everything loose. In a year full of protests and tension, it was the simplest cure. Dance till you drop. Every house party, backyard cookout, park jam, theirs. There's something timeless in that Isley pulse. Makes the years melt away. Subscribe if you want us to do the one-hit wonders from your favorite year next. 4. Motorcycle Mama by Sailcat. Two Southern boys dreamed up Sailcat and in 72 gave us Motorcycle Mama. Suddenly half the country wanted to hop on a Harley and ride. Freedom smelled like gasoline that summer. Biker flicks ruled drive-ins, but Sailcat flipped the script. This wasn't Rebel without a cause. It was a rolling love letter to riding with your girl on the back. Band broke up fast, but they left the ultimate 70s image. Couple wrapped tight, endless highway, sweet tune on the radio. 3. Suavecito by Mallow. Right in the heart of the Chicano movement in San Francisco, Mallow mixed Latin soul with American groove and dropped Suavecito, instant classic. Trumpets, heartbeat, percussion, and a vocal that made you sway whether you spoke Spanish or not. Pride for a whole generation of Latino kids finding their voice. Still plays at every family party, every lowrider cruise, 50 years strong. End. Garden Party by Rick Nelson.
To a garden party, reminisce with my old.
Ricky Nelson wasn't new. He'd been America's teen idol since the 50s. But by the 70s, the game had changed and he was trying to change with it.
Mr. Hughes hitting Dylan's shoes.
72, he plays an oldies show at Madison Square Garden, tries new rock stuff, crowd boos him off stage wanting the old hits. That night in the hotel, he writes, Garden Party. You can't please everyone, so you gotta please yourself.
Learn my lesson well. See you can't please.
Soft country rock vibe, but the message was loud. Staying true cost something. Ironically, it shot him right back to the top. Felt like growing up in 4 minutes. 1. Go All the Way by Raspberries. "1972 had electricity in the air, and 4 sharp-dressed kids from Ohio called Raspberries bottled it perfectly. starts with a razor guitar riff, explodes into pure power pop sunshine. Eric Carmen sings like he's begging and daring you at the same time. They never got another hit this big, but man, this one still wipes the cynicism clean off your face. 3 minutes and you're 17 again, convinced the best stuff is still coming. That's our trip through the 1972 flash-in-the-pan classics, y'all. We'll drop another old school list right here if you want to keep the good times rolling. Catch you on the next one!